One of the most profound realizations I've integrated over the last 5 years is the deep, inseparable connection between our mind and our physical form. We are beginning to understand that so much of our unconscious programming, the automatic reactions and beliefs that run beneath the surface, is fundamentally rooted within the body itself. People store traumas, profound shocks, personal crises, and any past experiences that carry a strong emotional charge. And they store these memories not just in the mind, but directly in the body's very tissues and cellular memory. This happens because every single time we vividly remember a difficult experience, our neurochemical system produces nearly the same chemistry in the brain and body as if the event were happening all over again in real time. Consequently, through this repetitive process, the body actually becomes chemically and energetically conditioned into the past. And so the body, with all its inherent resistance, is essentially clinging to the known and the familiar, even though our conscious mind desperately wants our future to begin to change and evolve. Therefore, if you truly understand this mechanism, you see that you cannot consistently think greater than how you feel. When you are addicted to certain cyclical emotions, or when you've been persistently thinking and feeling in the same repetitive loops, you have effectively conditioned your body to become the literal mind of that specific emotion. Then, when those ingrained feelings become the primary means of your thinking for the most part, people are perpetually thinking in the past. The body is constantly struggling in this state because it is clinging to the known. It has learned not to trust the uncertainty of the unknown. This is why some individuals would rather consciously or unconsciously hold on to their familiar suffering or their chronic pain than take a chance on a new and unknown possibility. There is absolutely nothing morally wrong with that. It is simply a biological and psychological process. The first step is just becoming consciously aware of this entire process. And so when people sincerely begin to do this inner work, the very first thing we teach them is about accessing that elegant, generous present moment. When you are truly fully immersed in the present moment, and you are totally focused and absorbed in the now, something truly amazing and liberating happens. You completely forget that you even have a physical body. You forget about all the people in your life and their demands. You forget about the material things you own, your cell phone, your computer, your car, your home. You forget about where you are sitting, where you need to be, and what place you have to go to next. Most profoundly, you forget about the constant pressure of time in and of itself. You forget to take your attention off of the flow of time. And in that expansive, uncluttered moment, you become pure awareness. You become pure consciousness. Now, that state of being is the essence of the elegant, generous present moment. And when you are authentically anchored in that present moment, the vast intelligence that lives within you and permeates all around you is always present and accessible. It is always paying attention. That is the precise moment when a powerful alignment occurs between your subjective consciousness, which is your free willed awareness, and the objective consciousness of the quantum field. In that state, you are looking directly into the mirror of creation. So then, in order for us to genuinely heal our bodies, we first have to learn how to get beyond the limited identity of our bodies. In order for us to change some deeply held aspect of our identity or personality, we have to literally learn to forget about our small, separate selves. And in order for us to change a persistent problem or condition in our life, we must forget about our present life circumstances and forget about the predictable future that is merely a projection of the familiar past. You can only talk around this transformative concept for so long. But for a person who genuinely struggles with creating joy when they feel so much overwhelming pain, and who is working hard just to fake it until they make it, my advice is very simple. Work on getting beyond yourself. There have been so many people in this work who have struggled, analyzed, and tried endlessly to get beyond themselves. They have tried to fake the feelings and did all those things until they finally just surrendered and followed the instructions, becoming nobody, no one, no thing, nowhere, and in no time. Once you are that pure, unadulterated consciousness, the next essential question is, as that consciousness, can you begin to place your attention on that unified field? Can you begin to pay unwavering attention to it, to become aware of it, to become more profoundly aware of it, to genuinely experience it, to feel it, and to stay connected to it moment after moment after moment. Now, just because you cannot physically see something with your eyes does not mean it does not exist. So, as your individual consciousness begins to become aware of the infinite consciousness of the quantum field, and you begin to experience less and less of a sense of separation, remember the feeling of separation is the hallmark of three-dimensional reality, where our senses fool us into believing you are over there and I am over here, and there's time and space between us. You start to transcend that limited perception. If you enjoyed this video and would like to learn more, sign up for Audible's 1-month trial and get 2 books for free. You can choose from a range of Dr. Joe's audiobooks and meditations or any other books for free. Click the link in the description below and get started exploring three-dimensional reality from a new perspective. But as you begin to become pure consciousness, you start to experience a tangible reduction in that separation. As you begin to put your sustained attention on that field and stay profoundly present with it, that infinite space, and you tune into it and begin to become more aware of greater and greater degrees of oneness and wholeness, you connect to its core signature. The signature of that unified field, that energy which is organizing everything material in the universe, is an intelligent love. It is a highly organized energy that we can only begin to describe as love, but not like the chemical love you have for your dog, your kids, or your partner. This is electric. It is a fundamental force. It is the most familiar, unfamiliar feeling you will ever have. It enlivens us. It is the very life force itself. It is the glue that is holding all of reality together. So then, the moment you place your attention on it and you begin to sincerely connect to it, and remember where you place your attention is where you place your energy, you are investing your attention and energy directly into that field. You will then begin to experience greater and greater degrees of oneness and wholeness, and will naturally begin to feel more of this unconditional love. And now you don't have to try to generate it because the energy from these higher centers moves directly into the heart center. We have measured this phenomenon thousands of times. The person is then, in a very real sense, being baptized by the divine. All of the struggles, all of the effort, all of the analysis, all of the bad meditations, all the good meditations, all of the quitting, all of the complaining, it is all worth it. Because the moment you finally run into this energy, it is the most amazing and profound feeling you will ever have. So I am not asking people then to create a fake feeling or just to pretend that they are there. I am asking them to be compassionate with themselves throughout the process. And when they are in that field and they are no longer encumbered by the limitations of their body, now they can truly think greater than how they feel. They are no longer connected primarily to matter and anything material. They are connected to this limitless field. So I think about it this way. When I am intending to create, if I'm going to do something unlimited, I have to feel unlimited. If I am going to create something magnificent, I have to become magnificent in my being. So we have to work ourselves up into that elevated state. And so there is a palpable excitement. There is a tangible change in our internal energy. And when there is a fundamental change in your energy, you change your life. Nobody truly changes their life until they first change their underlying energy. So the fundamental question becomes, what do you get truly passionate about? What deeply moves you? And this isn't a mechanical, forced process. We are intuitively wired to create. So when you and I are saying, okay, let's create a new app or let's create a new program for our German community, and we're sitting down and we're starting to talk about it, and we're getting all these great inspired ideas, our energy is demonstrably changing. We're getting genuinely excited, and that is the precise energy that is available to create with. Conversely, the stronger the negative emotions that we feel towards certain problems and conditions in our lives, the more we are putting our attention on the cause of our distress. Whether it's your ex, your boss, a coworker, or your chronic pain, if you place your primary attention on those elements, you are giving your power away to that person or thing. So, as you begin to overcome those difficult emotions through the process of connecting to the field, as you overcome those emotions, you will naturally take your attention off those people or problems. You will begin to break the energetic bond with everyone and everything in your past and present reality, and now you are calling your creative energy back to you. That is now energy that is available and free for you to design your destiny with. So much of people's innate creative energy is tied up and trapped in their pain. So then, as they begin to take their attention off their pain, their body starts to move closer to the present moment every single day. Don't be impatient with this process. Every day is about the mastery of self. If you overcome just a little bit of your old self every day, there will be a new, different feeling that warms your heart. That is exactly where I want people to be. And those small daily victories, they add up significantly over time. Yes, there are absolutely difficult meditations. I have them all the time myself. But if you are willing to sit courageously in the presence of that inner fire and be willing to face off with your own limitations and keep returning back to the present moment every single time you get distracted, that is the practice. Every time you catch yourself thinking about another person or another thing and you become conscious of it and choose to return back to the present moment, and unfold back into pure possibility, that is a personal victory. And that is what begins to build within us a genuine sense of worthiness, a sense of deep respect for ourselves and by extension for everybody else. We begin to honor and love ourselves more because we are in the crucible, we are in the fire, but we are doing the work, and the body is beginning to shift and change, step by deliberate step. So then, as you experience greater and greater degrees of oneness and wholeness, and you connect to that field, pay close attention because the moment you connect to that field and all those latent, dormant systems within you switch on, your body is going to receive a biological upgrade. This is because you are connecting to the core signature of wholeness and oneness. So your body's fundamental frequency is going to rise. So many people come out of their meditation and report, I was scheduled for surgery this week, but I have no pain in my body. I don't know what happened. I just got beyond myself. As you begin to consciously slow your brainwaves down from the busy beta state to the calmer alpha and into the receptive theta state, you begin to connect with your autonomic nervous system. That autonomic nervous system has one primary agenda, and that is to create balance, wholeness, and order within the organism. The moment you get beyond your small self and you are no longer identified with your pain, your past, your gender, or your diet, when you are just pure awareness, that greater intelligence becomes aware that you are no longer in the way. It is then going to rush directly into the body. We've seen this on so many brain scans. That autonomic nervous system is going to light up with new activity. And now you are going to process a whole new stream of consciousness. The body is going to get a biological upgrade from the field, whose very signature is wholeness, because disease at its root is separation and pain is separation. All of a sudden, the field starts interacting with you on a cellular level, and the person feels fundamentally different. But getting there every single day is just about consistently connecting to that field. And then when you are there, ask yourself, what are you truly passionate about? If you are passionate about your own healing, then just fall in love with the idea that you could be healed, and then relax and surrender into the field. Allow a greater mind to do the healing for you. Just get your own limited self out of the way, and every day keep interacting with the field, keep connecting with it, keep practicing, and sooner or later, you will say what everybody else who has persisted says: it was so profoundly worth the effort.